I'm Dave Collins with cleverhiker.com. In this episode, we're going to take a look at hiking on snow in spring and summer backpacking trips. Even if you're not planning a winter backpacking trip, you may still have to deal with crossing snowfields on the trail. It's very common for spring and summer backpackers to encounter snowfields on the trail before they have a chance to melt, especially at high elevations. Knowing how to cross snow safely will mean the difference between having a successful trip and either risking a terrible fall or heading back home early. When you first come across snow on the trail, it's important to examine it to see what type of snow you're going to be walking across. What you're trying to do is determine how the snow is going to act when you're stepping on it. Is it icy and slippery on top, or soft all the way through? Is it densely packed down, or is it hollow and crusty in places? If the snow's on a steep slope, it's also important to consider the avalanche danger. In the spring and summer, the potential for avalanches is much lower, especially if there hasn't been any fresh snow. But it's still important to inspect the snow and look for the possibility of slides. Snow conditions will soften as temperatures rise throughout the day, so it's important to consider how the snow is going to act later in the day as well. If there's a thin layer of crust on the snow, you might experience post-holing, where sometimes the snow will hold your full weight and sometimes you'll fall through, up to your knee or even your hip. Post-holing can be jarring, exhausting, and also dangerous, so make sure to assess your chances of having to deal with it before you venture too far. When you're hiking on snow, conditions are bound to be colder, so make sure you have a good winter hat, a pair of gloves, and also another layer for warmth. For short stretches of soft snow, you won't need any specialized footwear. A pair of gaiters can also keep your feet dry and warm by keeping loose snow out of your shoes. In the early morning, snow might be hard and icy after a cold night. In those circumstances, traction control devices for your feet can be very helpful. Crampons are made to be worn with mountaineering boots, and they'll provide the best traction for steep and icy conditions. But if your spring hike is unlikely to be that intense, there are traction devices out there that'll work with your normal hiking boots to provide good grip without the need for heavy boots and crampons. Also, when temperatures rise and the sun comes out, the snow will quickly soften and you'll be able to kick steps in the snow to safely traverse slopes. When kicking steps in the snow, kick hard, firm steps with the side of your shoe into the slope to create a large surface area of sturdy contact. Trekking poles will help you maintain balance on the snow, but they aren't designed to stop you from sliding if you slip and fall. Use them for stability on flat ground, but carry an ice axe if you might face a dangerous slide. When traversing a steep snow slope, it's critical to consider what would happen if you slipped. The snow might be soft and level enough for you to stop yourself by digging your knees, feet, and elbows in. But if it's not, you'll pick up speed very quickly until either the slope evens out or something below you like a cliff, jagged rocks, or a tree breaks your fall. If you ever have any doubts about being able to stop yourself from sliding if you were to fall on a slope, you should carry an ice axe and be very confident in your ability to self-arrest. An ice axe has many uses, but is primarily a safety tool for helping you stop an unexpected fall down a slope, which is called making a self-arrest. Because being able to self-arrest is such a critical skill, I highly recommend taking a snow skills course so you can practice it repeatedly in a safe learning environment where there are experts there to give you feedback on your technique. When carrying your ice axe on a snow slope, always hold the axe in the uphill hand with your thumb under the adze and the pick of the axe facing backwards. It's also very important to have a good grip on your ice axe at all times. Your ice axe is your lifeline, and dropping it could be disastrous. If you do slip down the slope, it'll be important to assume the proper self-arrest position and stop yourself as quickly as possible. In the proper self-arrest position, you bring the ice axe to your chest, going diagonally across your body, with one hand on the top of the ice axe with the pick facing outward at about shoulder level, and your other hand on the other side down near the base. You want to keep your arms into your side and a firm grip on the ice axe. Arch your back, keeping your stomach off the snow. Keep your knees wide and your feet off the ground. In this position, you'll be able to put the bulk of your weight over the pick of the ice axe. It's very important that you keep your feet up until you slow your slide significantly. If you try and dig your feet in early, you might send yourself into a cartwheel down the slope. This is especially important if you're wearing crampons or traction devices on your feet, which could catch and cause you a serious leg injury. Falling down the slope on your stomach with your feet facing downhill will make it relatively easy to self-arrest. But in an actual slip, your body could be in any different number of positions while you fall down the hill. That's why it's important to practice getting to the correct self-arrest technique from a variety of different positions. In any sliding position, the main goal is to reorient yourself to the basic self-arrest position as quickly as possible. If you find yourself on your back with your head facing uphill, roll towards the pick of the ice axe, plant it in the snow, and assume the basic self-arrest position. The important thing to remember with this position is to roll towards the head of the ice axe, whichever side it's on. You don't want to risk having your ice axe pulled from your hands. If you're sliding with your head downhill on your stomach, use two hands to reach the pick of the ice axe out to the side. Apply gentle pressure to swing your legs around, then pull the ice axe close to your chest and assume the self-arrest position. If you find yourself sliding down the slope head first on your back, lean forward and jab the pick of the ice axe into the snow at waist level. Use the pick of your ice axe as a pivot point to swing your legs around and flip onto your front side all in one motion. Using a sitting up motion to drive the pick in and bringing your legs and feet together will help you to swing them around into the correct position. Once you're in the correct position, pull your ice axe to your chest and self-arrest. Self-arrest techniques will take a lot of time to master, and it's very important to practice them in a safe environment. Practice with a partner in an area where the run out is safe, so you'll be okay even if you fail on a self-arrest attempt. When you're practicing, always wear a helmet, don't attach your ice axe to your body, and never wear crampons or traction devices on your feet. Wearing a backpack will make self-arresting more challenging, so first master it without a backpack on before trying it with a pack. It's also important to know the self-arrest technique is a critical skill that could save your life, but it's not fail-proof. It can be nearly impossible to stop yourself if the slope is too steep and icy, or if you get going too fast before you have a chance to self-arrest. That's why using sound judgment, balanced footwork, and having confident skills on snow will help you to avoid falling. Before you head out on an early season trip, make sure you check snow conditions so you know what to expect and can bring the right equipment. Remember that snow slopes will be easier to cross once they've warmed up, and don't hesitate to turn around if the consequences of a fall are too great. It's always better to be practiced, confident, and safe than to take unnecessary risks that could put you or your group in danger. I'm Dave Collins for CleverHiker.com. Hike light, hike smart, and have fun.